February 7th, student athletes across the country signed scholarships for college. This is the dream for thousands of young football players in Alabama, where enrollment in football continues to rise.
I just want to go play football again. I think about the last game that I played in high school all the time. I'm like, dang, I'm glad I'm not done.
But Blake Hester is one of less than 4% of players who actually get scholarships. Others will walk away with lifelong friends, cherished memories, and for some, injuries.
If you fall and break your leg, there's a cast on your leg, and people can see that, and they can see that you're recovering. If you fall and hit your head and your brain is injured, people can't see that, and so they don't know what you're going through.
Since you can't see a concussion, it can be hard to explain, but it's kind of like shaking a snow globe.
There's nothing broken or damaged in the brain, but everything's very chaotic. And if we let it rest, it's gonna settle out and things are gonna go back to normal.
Over time, repeated head trauma can lead to damage, something coaches like Sean Rainey are now paying keen attention to.
I suffered 3 concussions when I was playing. Didn't know what it was. I remember one game, early in the first quarter, I got hit in the side of the head, could not remember my name or could not get lined up. Went in halftime, got a break, went back out and played the second half. And it was, nothing was said about it.
Dr. James Sedlis, who works with student athletes in the Birmingham area, diagnoses them regularly. When Dr. Sedlis began practicing in Birmingham 20 years ago, he only saw 1 concussion a year.
So now here I am taking care of the same amount of schools, and I'm seeing them every day. So obviously there's been a huge awareness, and I'm sure that the same number of kids were getting concussed back then, they just weren't talking about it.
Spain Park has strict rules in place to deal with head injuries.
Anytime the word concussion is mentioned, they're removed and the steps are taken. They will not do anything with us until they're medically cleared through a doctor and we get a note from them.
This only works if the players speak up.
4 years ago, we had a kid that we found out later that he had had a concussion 2 games prior and had told nobody. So that's what really scares you as a coach, and that's why you sit down with kids. If there's any issues, it's not worth, so take yourself out.
The problem is, doctors still don't agree on exactly what a concussion is.
I was at a conference recently where the leading speaker opened by saying there are over 70 published definitions of concussion. And hopefully we will get to the stage where we can see a concussion, but right now we're not able to see what's going on.
And if that's not enough, doctors also don't know when concussions change from something that can heal to something that causes permanent damage.
Concussions, again, are thought to be reversible, but at some point they become irreversible. And that's where a lot of stuff the research is trying to figure out, where is that dividing line? Where do you cross over from a reversible injury to a permanent injury? And I really don't think we know that answer right now.
But there are breakthroughs on the horizon. Doctors are working to develop imaging and even blood and genetic tests to diagnose concussions and stop damage before it becomes permanent. While doctors are trying to understand concussions, coaches are trying to prevent them from happening at all.
See, but it can turn pretty well.
This robotic dummy is one of the newest technological developments made with brain and player safety in mind.
We are a high academic school with a low roster number. If we cut down on player-to-player contact, we can get more out of practice while keeping our players healthy. I mean, these are an expensive price tag item, but they are very valuable as well. Again, it's a bag, so you don't have to just tackle it. You can use hand combat, you can do block destruction on it, you can do blocking on it, you can get hand placement on it, and you can just get a lot of reps with it without burning your guys out too much.
But at nearly $10,000 a piece, these robotic practice dummies are out of reach for many football programs.
And you can get a lot of stuff for the price of one of these.
$10,000 can go a long way. Spain Park spends that much to keep their helmets in top form.
We start out by trying to put our kid in the best possible equipment.
Spain Park carries 3 different brands of helmets to ensure that every player has the best possible fit. And every year, they're all sent out for inspection and reconditioning.
They mark crack. So if the shell is cracked, the helmet will be rejected.
There's also a cost-free method to prevent concussions. Coach Rainey has largely taken player-to-player contact out of football practice.
Over the past 5 years, the way we practice has completely changed. To me, tackling and everything is 95% of it is how you approach the ball carrier and the angles that you take, not the actual contact where you make contact.
Until science and technology catch up, coaches are doing the best they can to keep athletes safe playing Alabama's favorite game. And Dr. Sedlis said he would trust local coaches to keep his son safe on the football field.
If he wanted to, I would let him play football. It is as safe as it can be with the current knowledge that we have and the current equipment. I think it's as safe as it can be.
I want kids playing football for the experiences that we've talked about, not the wins and losses on Friday night or how many concussions you had or how many kids you knocked out. All that has been taken out of the game for the better.